Jason Brown signed a $3.7 million contract in 2009 to play center for the St. Louis Rams. And just a couple of years after that, he decided to quit football. He had a promising career, but instead, he decided he wanted to be a farmer. So he bought a piece of property in a small town in North Carolina, and he started farming. His agent told him he was crazy. He said he had a vision. The guy said, "Do you know anything about farming?" No, he didn't know anything about, didn't grow up on a farm. Watched YouTube videos of how to be a farmer. Bought a tractor, tried it out, plowed the field. Well, he just finished harvesting the first 50 acres of his 1,000 acres that eventually he will farm. 46,000 pounds of sweet potatoes. 10,000 pounds of cucumbers. He's never been happy. But here's the other part of this. He's not selling it. He got all this money for playing football, so he bought this, and now he has enough that everything he grows, he's giving away to food banks to address the problem of hunger in the world. And he's just getting started. He's got 950 more acres to be able to do this with. He's got a vision. He said that when you see them, those sweet potatoes pop out of the ground, man, it's the most beautiful thing you could ever see. He says he's never felt more successful than feeding those in need, not in man's standards, he says, but in God's eyes. He gets it. The overflow. I've noticed, by the way, that quite a number of you are not retiring as early as you used to. You're working longer, even if you don't have to, because you want to. And for some of you, that's very strategic. It's not just about having meaning in your own life, but it's also for what you can do for others. Like this friend of mine who was tired of working for the man, so to speak, and that means his partners in this firm, and so he decided that he just couldn't put up with the stress of trying to do that anymore, and so he was going to try to find a second career where he could work for a nonprofit, do something like that, and instead, after a long period of work, he said, but I actually like what I do, just don't want the pressure of it. I'm good at what I do, and I actually make a lot of money at what I do, money that I don't even need for myself anymore. And so he decided to join a smaller firm that he didn't have to support so much, and he's waking up every morning loving his job and still making a lot of money, and now, because he doesn't need it, he wakes up in the morning funding Christian ministries and things that he knows need his kind of expertise and his kind of generosity because he's learned how to get into the overflow. Look, you don't have to have a lot of money to do this. No matter who you are, you can get into the flow first by being thankful to God for what you have. And then by your generous giving, you can get into the overflow of God's grace in the world.